Hi guys, welcome to McKola TV. This is MUFC Transfer Talk. This is the 16th episode of the summer. I was going to say the transfer window. The transfer window isn't even over yet. Hope you guys are all doing well. Man United God number 7 says, why does it look like Fabinho has red hair in the thumbnail? Because I think he has got red hair in the thumbnail. Hope you guys are all good. Today, as the thumbnail shows, the main topic of discussion is that guy from Monaco, Fabinho. Is the Brazilian on the way to Manchester United? Now, in previous episodes of MUFC Transfer Talk, we have discussed Fabinho's potential move to Manchester United, and we seem to think that the move was off. About a week ago, we heard suggestions in the press that Manchester United didn't want to sign Fabinho. There seemed to be a briefing to the press because everybody, everywhere was reporting it. Fabinho wasn't going to Man United. Mourinho didn't want him. He was going to target other signings. Eric Dyer, please no. And of course, the Nemanja Matic was also mentioned as well. Former player of Mourinho's at Chelsea. But now, an Italian chap. Now, I'm going to read the story from Sport Witness because Sport Witness are, for me, the most reliable guys on the internet. They break everything down. They use translators. They dig out the evidence. And they try and see what's true, what's not true. And they do much like what we try and do here, except they do it much, much better. And they do it in writing. So they're talking about Fabinho to Manchester United and how the move seemed to be off. And then, today on Thursday, an Italian outfit published an article on their website. Now, this Italian outfit is called Corriere dello Sport. And they're claiming that Fabinho was getting closer and closer to Manchester United. And United had agreed a fee with Monaco of 35 million euros plus 5 million euros in bonuses that could be triggered through both personal and team achievements. Now, of course, as Sports Witness say here, and as we all are, we're all skeptical when we hear these rumours. We're all skeptical when we hear these rumours. And they say Emanuele Giulianelli, who is the guy that's broke this news, has been convinced for a very, very long time that it's happening. Now, they don't say whether he's reliable or not, but he says they've been convinced this is going down and this move is happening. And then earlier on today, after this article was published, Fabinho did an interview on television, and he said, so it's an interview with him on television. He was asked if there was interest from Manchester United. So he wasn't asked, there's been this deal that's going down, are you excited to join the club? He was asked whether he'd be interested in joining United. And Fabinho said on Brazilian television that an invitation from Jose Mourinho to go to United would be very, very tempting. And he gave it a little cheeky smile as well. So Fabinho, following these rumours from Italy that the move was definitely happening, John says the chap's not reliable, so we'll take the reports with a pinch of salt. And now Fabinho being asked about it on Brazilian television has saw these rumours about Fabinho be reignited. Obviously, there's nothing concrete to suggest the move could go down. But we have seen in the past how Manchester United can dampen reports and kind of, put the flames out on reports straight away in terms of, we're not really looking to sign this player. But they may actually be looking to make a deal with the player. So it's very possible, even though United briefed the press, that they are actually going ahead with a deal. But it's also very, very possible as well that Manchester United aren't in the market for Fabinho. And this chap in Italy is talking a whole load of shit. So there's one or two ways this can obviously go. And that's the two of them. Now, I've given my opinion before on Fabinho, and for you guys that don't know, in terms of Fabinho, I wasn't keen on Fabinho at the start. Let's get that in. I wasn't very keen on Fabinho joining Man United at the start. But that's because I thought, is he coming in as a right back in place of Valencia? If so, then is that the right decision? Valencia's been quality at right back. But of course, Fabinho's much younger. But also he can play in central defensive midfield as well. And him playing in central defensive midfield, also providing an option at right back, could be a very, very good move. It would allow him to free up Paul Pogba, who we hope Manchester United could build a team around. So that's one of the reasons that Fabinho would come in and would do us well. But also Fabinho is a very, very talented player. Still young, younger than I thought as well. I thought he was around 27, 28, but I think he's around 24. And yeah, Fabinho could potentially be moving to Manchester United for 40 million euros, which is around 35 million pounds. And that is being reported out in Italy. So now, what's up with you guys? How are you doing? I'm going to get into some of your comments. Aaron says Pogba, Fabinho, Herrera, three-man midfield, best midfield in the league. Fabinho is mostly now playing CDM, says Rifaz. We don't need Marquinhos, we have Twanzebe, says Dion. In reference to the Express report that Marquinhos is subject to a bid from a number of English clubs, but we'll wait and see on that one. Jose doesn't seem to do marquee signings as far as I remember, but I may be wrong, says Daniel. Wasn't Paul Pogba a marquee signing? Sam says there's no issue with the sound. Thank you for clearing that up. Ronak and John remind me that he's 23 years old. O'Brien, thank you for getting involved. Mohammed, thank you for getting involved. He says, it looks like I've just come from school. It does, doesn't it? It does look like I've just come from school, except if I stood up, you'd see that I've got red shorts on and it looks nothing like I've just come from school. We've got over 400 people in the house at the moment, so thank you all for getting involved in another MUFC Transfer Talk. Please hit that like button as well, and of course, hit that subscribe button too. We're trying to hit 40k before the new Premier League season starts. We've got a Liverpool fan in the comments, Liam, who's saying 5 times. Typical Liverpool fans always go back to that one, don't they? But welcome to the show anyway, Liam. Hope you're doing well. Where does Fabinho come from club-wise, says James? He comes from Monaco. He's part of the very, very successful Monaco side that we've seen that did well in the Champions League. Obviously won League as well. Mbappe, could he be going to Madrid? We hear Bakayoko could be going to Chelsea. Fabinho possibly going to Manchester United. It looks like they're going to be stripped of their best players. So that one's interesting. How will they fare next season? They have made a fair few signings already, though. I think they've made 4 or 5 big signings. Colin says he finished his junior cert on Tuesday. I'm not sure what that is, but well done, mate. Do you think Fosu Mensah should go out on loan? Oh, man, I didn't see the name. I've mentioned this before in terms of Fosu Mensah going out on loan. If Jose Mourinho doesn't have plans to play him, then send him out on loan. It's simple as that. We need him to get minutes under his belt because he's a fantastic talent, a fantastic player. And we need minutes under his belt. We need him playing games. And we need him to develop into the player that we all know that he can become. Wayne Rooney in the comments, not sure if it's the real one, says, again, in relation to Timothy Fosu Mensah, do we think Fabinho coming in would block him? Philip Stam says Fabinho would be a top signing. And that is one of the worries, isn't it? That Fabinho coming in would block that progression of Timothy Fosu Mensah. But Michael Carrick isn't going to play as many games as he did last season. Is Marouane Fellaini still going to be here? We lost Morgan Schneiderlin. We lost Bastian Schweinsteiger. So we have lost players over this season as well. Wayne Rooney, obviously not going to be playing in that midfield area. Matteo Darmian could be potentially going to Juventus, which would free up a squad rotation spot at right back. So there's many areas where we could see Timothy Fosu Mensah, but we need to just see how this one goes down. Matthew says 30 to 35 million seems a good deal considering the football market currently, and I totally agree with you, mate. Considering Fabinho's experience, he's played at a very high level. He's done well in the Champions League, done well at Monaco. I think he played for Real Madrid briefly as well, didn't he? So he's done well in various places. 23 years old, still going to improve, still going to get better. He can play in a number of positions. At 30 to 35 million pounds, fantastic bid, and it's a fantastic deal if it happens in this transfer market. Yes, Lucas, how you doing? Wiz says, any new news on Morata? So at the moment, no new news since that Fabrizio Romano report. And Fabrizio Romano is one of the chaps from Damasio. Damasio have been fairly successful in reporting Manchester United news. They were pretty much spot on with the Paul Pogba stuff as well, and Mkhitaryan and a few other things. So you can take what they say reliably, but of course it doesn't mean it's definitely going down. Fabrizio Romano reported that United were in talks with Real Madrid. The whole Ronaldo situation and the Ronaldo drama had delayed the talks a little bit, but talks were still progressing. Terms had been agreed with the player before he got married at the weekend, so that was already done and dusted. United just need to sort out the fee with Real Madrid, whatever fee that's going to be. Almost 500 people in the house now. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for liking the video as well. The video likes have shot up, but keep liking it if you haven't already. Little burp there, just had a sip of coke before this, so apologies for the wind. Ran says Daily Mail and Metro reports Talisca and United agreed terms. Is that true? I don't think that one's true, mate. I've seen it reported in a few places, but it doesn't seem much truth in it, and I'm sure his agent has come out and said that. I think it was his agent. Anyway, let me just double check. I think it was Talisca's agent who came out and said, yeah, he came out and said that the news linking Talisca to Manchester United was news to him. He didn't know where it come from, so he pretty much nipped those rumours in the bud, and the Talisca rumours, according to the agent, isn't true. So disregard those ones for now, unless of course they do pop back up. Abdul's disappearing to go and watch Love Island. What the hell is going on there, Abdul? Come on, mate. Love Island over chatting about Man United and chatting about transfers. Are you gonna leave me over Love Island? Is this how you doing me? Come on. Anyway, thank you for joining us for the brief time you were here. We had a little drop in numbers there. A few more of you have gone to watch Love Island. Fuck Love Island. Stay with me. Fabinho over Talisca regardless of prices. Jack, who do you see us signing this summer? Says Summers, I think it was the name. I don't know, it moved very, very quickly. I apologise about that. Who do I see us signing? We've obviously signed Victor Lindelof already. Will we sign any more players? Obviously, I do think we will. Hopefully, most reliable people are informing us that we've agreed terms with Morata and we're in talks for him. So hopefully we get Morata over the line. Obviously talks about Perisic. That one seems like it's going to happen as well, but we'll wait and see. And talks about Fabinho. I think if we sign Fabinho, Perisic, Morata, Lindelof, and maybe one more player, I think that would be a quality summer. Obviously no marquee signings in there as such, but I don't think we need to sign marquee players. I think Martial can give us more next season. I think Rashford can give us more next season. I think Mkhitaryan, Pogba can give us more next season. So we've got players that can improve for Manchester United next season, and we just need to add a little bit more quality to that, add a little bit more quality to the squad depth, and hopefully keep improving the squad as it is. If David De Gea stays as well, even better for Manchester United. Now, obviously, recently, Donnarumma has been linked with Real Madrid, which would be a fantastic move if it went down for Manchester United, because that would mean David De Gea is going to be at United for a long, long time. Of course, nothing's happened yet, so we have to wait and see. But if David De Gea stays, that's as good as a new signing in my opinion as well, because I thought David De Gea was a gunner. I genuinely did. I thought David De Gea was going to be out of here. I didn't expect him to stick around. I thought Real Madrid, this is going to be the summer that they really come in and go and get him now. But having won the Champions League, having won La Liga, it seems like their priority isn't to replace Keylor Navas, at least immediately. So it may seem that we will get him for a little bit longer. Fingers crossed that is the case. Shreyas says, is Harrop leaving? Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of these lads go out on loan. Yes, I know it was great to see them get a game at the end of the season, but we have to look at the circumstances that they got that game time in. Next season, Manchester United are going to be hoping to be challenging for the Premier League, hoping to be challenging for the Champions League. If that's the case and we do keep challenging for those trophies, then there's going to be less game time for the youngsters. We know how Jose Mourinho is. He really has to trust the player before he gives them a lot of minutes. So I can't see Josh Harrop and the like getting loads and loads of minutes. I mean, even Timothy Fosu-Mensah struggles to get near the team, and he's a fantastic young player who's closer and is on the fringes of the first team. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a fair few of our decent youngsters on their way out, on loan, maybe even sold as well, because we have to bear in mind who our manager is. And now, before Jose came in, I knew there were positives, I knew there were negatives. The negatives of that were Yes, he's going to give the likes of Rashford and Martial a chance. They're already in the first team squad. He will try and give youngsters a players. But we have to be honest in that he's not going to force it. He's not like Louis van Gaal, who's just going to give loads of these kids minutes every single week or in the cup competitions. That's not going to happen. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of them leaving. What's up, Kay? How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Ewan, you okay, mate? Colgy Butler, Fabinho, true or nah? Well, at the moment, mate, I'll be genuinely honest. I have no clue. The guy that's reporting it at the moment, the Italian chap, he's been consistent in saying Fabinho is going to Manchester United, but I don't know whether he's reliable or not. I don't know his track record. Now, we just have to wait and see, because obviously the press were briefed last week by somebody from Manchester United that Man United weren't in for him. And that seemed to be the deal was after the deal was done, the deal was dusted. But that has happened before. United have misled the press before. The press have thought United weren't signing a player, and United have gone out and signed a player. So you've got to take things with a pinch of salt as well. But these reports, I'm not sure on their reliability, so I can't say for certain. We're just under 500 viewers and we're just under 200 likes, so hit that like button if you haven't already. It doesn't even stop you from viewing the video. Scott, how you doing, mate? Thank you for watching and thank you for realising there's daily content on the channel. I've been trying to make a conscious effort of improving things on Adam McKola TV. Now, obviously, MUFC Transfer Talk is just one thread of videos that's going to continue. I'm going to add more videos to my to the channel next season as well, during the football season, and I'm of course going to keep adding new things, new vlogs, etc. So make sure you keep an eye on Adam McKola TV and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to hit 40,000 subscribers before the Premier League season kicks off, so before United's game against West Ham. Let's hope I can do that. Shreyas says, announce MORATA. I wish I could, mate, but I can't. Ron says, can we defeat Real in the Super Cup? Of course we can defeat Real in the Super Cup. Of course we can defeat Real in the Super Cup. It's obvious we can. But is it guaranteed we're gonna? No, it's not. No, it's not. Real Madrid are obviously better than Manchester United, but on any given day, Man United, Jose Mourinho, and the players that we have can do a job against them. And of course, Cristiano Ronaldo isn't going to be playing in that game, according to reports. So that's nice. Cody, thank you for getting involved, mate. Hope you've had a good day. MUFC fan, thank you for commenting. Shivang, thank you. Ron, I've already answered that question. Do you think we should let Dave go? Says Jack, the lad, I don't know. I think we should do as much as possible to hold on to him. Colin says, will I be uploading some FIFA 18? I will do, mate. I will do. Shared your channel on Twitter and told people to sub. Ronak, I love you. Thank you very much. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Thank you, Solomon. I hope you are too. Do you think we should get Raphael back? Says Ali. Oh, man, I would love Raphael's little face back at Man United. I genuinely love that guy. But is he going to come back? Let's be real. No, he isn't. I've learned ever since David Beckham left, and I longed for David Beckham to return to Manchester United, even if it was just for like 3 months on a loan deal or something like that, and it didn't happen. I've stopped wishing for players to return. Cristiano Ronaldo, it's not going to happen. I told you guys last week. I told you guys on Friday. Don't get caught up in his Cristiano Ronaldo hype. Don't get caught up in his Cristiano Ronaldo drama, because it's not happening. It's not happening. I told you on Friday, I told you on Monday, I told you on Tuesday, and yesterday when the news came out, I told you again. I told you so. So I do apologise, but I was right. Next year's captain, Ander Herrera. Maybe, but it looks like Wayne Rooney is going to be trying to stick around. There's no snakes behind me. I know all about that. Salah's gone to Liverpool, says Samuel. He has. Fair play to him. Decent signing. But like I said yesterday, Salah's a good player. Decent signing for Liverpool. But let's be honest here. Where Liverpool are in the food chain. They're not at the top of the food chain. They're not up there with the Man United, Man City's, Chelsea's, Real Madrid's, Bayern Munich's, Juventus's. Liverpool are here in the food chain. So they get the players that these teams at the top don't want. It's that simple. Viva Ronaldo, says Ruben. It's always Viva Ronaldo, regardless. Nick says Pogba should be captain. MUFC fan says, am I going to the Aviva? At the moment, I haven't got any plans, but never know. I might change that. Hello from India, says Rajasthan. Hi, mate. Please try to scream less on FIFA, says IR Dan. I'll try to, but I don't control that. It just happens. And when it happens, what can I do? I apologise. Any news on James, says Ammon. Like I've said before, mate, I don't think this James Rodriguez thing's got anything in it. I don't think James Rodriguez will end up at Manchester United. I think James Rodriguez is obviously probably going to be sold by Real Madrid, but not. I can't see that being to Man United now. I could look stupid if this turns out to be the case and United sign him, but he doesn't strike me like a Jose Mourinho signing at all. It doesn't strike me as that. So I can't see it happening, unfortunately. Where the police at, says Demo. No police today, thank God for that. And we're now over 500 viewers. So thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for daily live content throughout the summer transfer window and much, much more as well. See Lingard getting less minutes, says Jack. No, I don't. I genuinely don't. I think he's earned Jose Mourinho's trust, at least in a tactical sense. And I think you can trust him as a squad player. I don't think he's going to start week in, week out, of course, but I do think he'll still get the same amount of minutes. De Gea to stay, says Aman. I hope so. Any update about Perisic, says Hassan. No updates at the moment. It seems like Man United are just going to wait that one out, you know. Obviously, we've heard reports. We discussed in yesterday's video that there were reports in Italy that it was just a matter of time. It was as certain as death and taxes that Perisic was going to be a Man United player. Now that could still be the case, but we've just got to wait and see. We know that Inter Milan need to raise around £25 million or 25 million euros by the end of June to comply with FFP regulations. So we know they need to do that. And Manchester United have made an offer that's probably deemed less than Inter Milan want. Inter Milan was saying about 48 million or something stupid like that. United have made an offer that's under that for around 35 million euros if you believe the reports. And Inter Milan are trying to haggle upwards, get more money out of Man United, but Man United ain't having none of it at the moment. It seems like Jose is happy to wait it out. The players don't need to report back to training for it till I think the second week of July. I think it's around the 7th or 8th of July. So the players don't have to return until then to training. So, you know, they don't need to go there. Emmanuel, don't worry about that shite. Who else is leaving United, says Kogi. Who else is leaving United, So Zlatan's already gone on a free. Who else is leaving? Who will come in at Manchester United? It's a very, very interesting discussion because obviously, do we need to make wholesale changes? I don't think so. I don't think we do need to make wholesale changes. I think we need to strengthen the squad, obviously. I think there's a few players that need to go. I think there will be a few players that go. Wayne Rooney probably is one that needs to go, but whether he goes or not, I'm not sure. Ashley Young will probably be off. You're obviously looking at Zlatan's gone. Ashley Young. Darmian could be potentially going to Juventus. Which, again, I'm not too sure about. So is Darmian going to go to Juventus? That's a big decision for him. Because playing in his home country, playing in Italy, potentially being first choice right back, Dani Alves looks like he's leaving Juventus this summer. So that could appeal to Darmian. Obviously, he had a good end to the season for United last season. He's had ups and downs since he joined. I remember when he first joined under Louis van Gaal, and he was fantastic at the start of the season. And then he had that game against Arsenal in October, got absolutely roasted by Alexis Sanchez, and he never recovered from it that season. It's been hit and miss for Jose Mourinho, but his tactical awareness, his application, his hard work, his willingness to perform the job that his manager says has seen Jose Mourinho trusting him, and towards the end of the season, he was very good for Manchester United. So it's a difficult one. Will he leave? I'm not too sure. I think Jose Mourinho would probably have to say to him, look, I can promise you X amount of games this season, but we'll have to wait and see, because Juve coming in for an Italian player is a pretty big deal if you're an Italian guy, isn't it? The biggest team in Italy, unless he supports Roma, Lazio, I don't know, he came from Torino. It's an interesting one, so we'll have to wait and see on what Matteo Darmian does, but there's potential of a move to Juventus there. So that's one player. I think, as Aman Aurora says, I think if De Gea stays, Sergio Romero will go. And I think that's the right decision. Sergio Romero shouldn't stay if Manchester United keep David De Gea. He would have stayed with the impression that David De Gea was going to eventually leave, go to Real Madrid, and he would be United's number one. You heard of him rejecting moves to Boca Juniors, rejecting various moves in January, under the impression that he would eventually be Manchester United's number one. So it's an interesting one. I know a lot of you would say, let's keep him, let's make him our number two behind David De Gea. But the facts are, he won't want to be a number two for much longer. He's coming towards the end of his career, probably coming towards the peak of his career for a goalkeeper. He's going to want to be playing week in, week out, and he doesn't deserve to be a number two. So I'd expect him to leave if David De Gea stays. It could be one of those that happens later on in the window, because I fully expect Joe Pereira to be Man United's number two next season, regardless of who's our number one. Jose Mourinho believes in Joe Pereira. He's rejected a few moves, a few proposed moves to Portugal for the lad. He was out there on loan last season, and obviously had to come back because of a few injuries to other goalkeepers, and then got injured himself, which was disappointing. But Joe Pereira is a fantastic talent, and I think he's an incredible goalkeeper. And if we can obviously develop him and we can keep him, if David De Gea eventually does go to Real Madrid in this summer, 2 years, 3 years, I think Joe Pereira could be the long-term replacement of David De Gea. But I think Joe Pereira is just a fantastically talented goalkeeper. Another talented player that we do have at the club. We're blessed with them at the moment. You look at Joe Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Paul Pogba is still very young, Anthony Martial, 21 years old, Marcus Rashford. We've got so many young players at this club at the moment. Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly, 22 years old. David De Gea is still very young. We've got so many young players at this club. Andreas Pereira's coming through. So it's exciting times at Manchester United, but they have to be given opportunities, and they have to be given chances, and they have to be given promises that they're going to play football. Keogh George knows what he's talking about. Safe, mate. What about Matuidi, says Arabian Gamer? It's one that's constantly linked with Manchester United and various other clubs, but I can't see him join. Like, when I hear he's linked to Manchester United, I don't think he's actually going to end up at Manchester United. I don't know if anyone else has that feeling or that opinion when they hear of the links with Matuidi and Man United, but I just don't feel like he's ever going to be a Man United player. Matthew says, this is the problem with the amount of English players in the first 11. Do you mean the lack of, or too many? I'm not sure what you're getting at there, mate. 35 for Smalling, says Dragon. In this market, when you consider Michael Keane, that we're asking 30, 35 million. When you consider John Stones for 50 million, he's not worth it. Chris Smalling's better than John Stones. But I am not under the impression we're going to get 50 million for Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling is probably worth around 30 million. United paid 18 for him, I think. So if we paid 18 million for John Stones, I don't see why. Sorry, if we paid 18 million for Chris Smalling, he's improved as a player. He's got experience. He's won trophies. Yes, he had a bad end. If we do sell him, then I think Smalling could fetch at least 25, 35 million. Although United selling players, we rarely get the money that other clubs do for players, because when we're selling players, it's because we deem them not good enough for the club usually. Irish Red says, this is another false story. Do you mean the headline story, mate, in terms of Fabinho? In that case, it very well could be, because we know the club last week briefed the press that they weren't interested in Fabinho. But this Italian outlet have been consistent in saying Fabinho is still on to Man United for 35 to 40 million euros. And they keep sticking by their guns. Now, it has been the case in the past that the club have briefed the press and misled them and done something else that they've obviously briefed them otherwise. But of course, it could be a case that, as you say, this is fake news. A big season for Luke Shaw next year, says Luke. Says Jack. It is a massive season for Luke Shaw next season. Make or break season for him next season. He really does need to get some minutes, get some games, get some consistency, get a run under his belt, and hopefully cement his spot as our left back, because he has the potential to be Manchester United's left back for the foreseeable future. He's a fantastic talent, and when I talk about younger players, like I was mentioning earlier, Luke Shaw definitely falls into that bracket, because he has the potential to be the best in the league in his position. So let's hope Luke Shaw is given opportunities. I read an article the other day, I can't remember where it was, and it said it in the article as well that Jose Mourinho had decided to give him more opportunities at left back. I think it was one relating to Matteo Darmian. So hopefully that's the case as well. Ruben says, I look tired. I'm not tired, mate. I'm all right. I've had a long day today. I've been in Manchester recording a few bits and bobs with Full Time Devils. We did a great video about David Beckham, which I narrated. And we did a top 10 video as well, which will be up very, very soon. So go and check those out. We've got over 550 people in the stream at the moment. We've been going for half an hour, so over the allotted slot for MUFC Transfer Talk, but we'll keep going for a little bit longer. We've got 280 likes on this stream at the moment. Can we get to 300 in the next 5-10 minutes? Hopefully we can do that. This Man United squad is future superpower for sure. Who said that? Sorry, it moved. Who do I think? Right on cue, ladies and gentlemen. There's the police. Someone said, Stuart Leonard says, tell Webby that Stuart Leonard said hello. Webby, Stuart Leonard said hello. Carl, you're a legend. Jonathan says, who do I think the top 4 will be next season now? I'm going to give my predictions for the top 4 closer to the season. Let's see the business get done first. Bigger disappointment, Adnan or Raval Morrison, says Pablo. For me, Raval Morrison, because I watched his development for a long, long time. I watched that youth team for a long time. The Lingard, Pogba, Raval Morrison, Tom Thorpe, Michael Keane. Those players. I watched that team for a while, and I watched their FAU Cup run when they won it. I remember a game at Anfield when Raval Morrison was absolutely mint. And Raval Morrison was fantastic. One of the best young players to play in our youth system. Fergie says he is the greatest to have played in the youth system, the best talent he had. And unfortunately, it just didn't go down, did it? So, yeah, it'd have to be that one for me. Raval Morrison's been the biggest disappointment in terms of academy player not fulfilling his massive potential. Bring back Mike Smalling, says Pablo. If we could sign Mike Smalling and release Chris Smalling, that would be nice. That siren again, says Rajasthan. It always goes off in the videos. I'm in the hood, says Eyes Wide Open. Mate, tell me about it. Every day, the sirens. Policing helicopter. Anyway, less of that. That's my private collection of records. Hey Gov, Bandicoot, how you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna shoot now, but thank you all for joining us. You had a little bit of an encore there, 3 minutes of an encore. I don't usually do that. So make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, comment and share as well. If you're watching this back later on, then of course get your comments in below. What do you think of the stories linking Fabinho with Manchester United? Is Fabinho about to be Manchester United's second signing for 40 million euros? Or is it more fake news? And we've also been talking about Anderson Talisca. His agent has ruled out a move to Manchester United after a few links to the club. I think the links came about because he said he dreamed of playing for Man United. I dream of playing for Man United, but I'm never linked with the club, am I? What else did we talk about? That was it really, guys. So that was it for today. Make sure you give that like button a click, subscribe, share, comment. You know the drill. Anyway, I'm Adam McKola. I'm out of here.